Okay, sir.
What is up, y'all? Mine's done. How's everybody doing? Welcome to part 3.
Part trace.
Man, we haven't done very many 3 parts of these that I can remember. I can only remember doing this like
The last time we went live,
we
we
did it.
did these. It went.
We did it the last time, and I think we've only done it like 2 other times, maybe 3. Anyway, though, yeah, been a very successful day so far. Hopefully, I can give you something that can at least help you on your journey. That's the goal, man. That's my goal. Again, like I said, for the members, I'm going to be doing a really deep dive into telling my story as to what brought me to where I am. The most deep, comprehensive, like detailed version of the story that I've ever told publicly. But long story short, this career was a complete and total accident. I never meant to do this. But since the universe put this on my lap and says, this is what you're fucking doing, this is your job, I had to figure out a way to actually help people, you know? So that's why I like to drop nuggets of advice and knowledge and wisdom and whatnot, you know? Because, like I say all the time, when a reader just answers your questions, that helps you about as much as your friend in class giving you the answers to the test, you know? Which, yeah, that can give you a quick fix for the moment, but ultimately, what happens to that dude that cheats his way all the way through school? Eventually, that's going to come back to bite him because he didn't learn nothing, you know? So, hopefully, I can give you all at least one little nugget of wisdom that, hey, even if it makes you mad today, maybe it'll bloom later on down the line. I hear that a lot, honestly. Over the last month, actually, I've had 3 clients on Zoom calls who said, you did a reading for me 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and I didn't believe you, right? Or I thought that you didn't know what you were talking about, and then it turned out to be right. And, you know, I'm not a right fighter. I'm not here to tell you I told you so. I'm here to help you, you know? So that's why we're doing this, man. Hopefully it helps.
Yes, that is.
And I like it when we can get the female perspective. And I don't know if you've noticed this, but she challenges me a lot.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
In what way?
I mean, almost everything I say, you challenge it.
Oh, yeah, because I feel like you say a lot of things on autopilot sometimes, and then I like to get your brain like, oh, wait, what?
Yeah, so we need to hear the feminine aspect, you know. She has a lot to say. She just needs to learn how to say it. She's very wise.
I am, but only few people get my wisdom.
I tell you, the only reason why I married her was because I watched her grow and evolve as a person. I vowed to never get married ever again. Ever. And I never taught her nothing. I never told her what she had to do.
I feel like you did teach me stuff, though. I listened to you.
I didn't sit down and tell you, okay, this is what you have to do. Like, you may have picked it up from me, but I didn't directly teach you. I didn't sit down and teach you, like, this is what you have to do.
Yeah.
And
He
so,
woke me up. He
I-
woke me up in 2020. I'll never forget. And he says, I didn't wake you up. You woke yourself up. No, he woke me up.
I provided the environment and the resources. I provided the environment and the resources, and I said, here, go look here.
And I went and I looked, and I can't unsee and unlearn the things that I saw.
Yeah.
No, like being awake to things is a blessing and a curse because you just like, you can't unsee and you can't, once you know things, like I don't say I know everything, but you know, when you start going down that path, it's hard to be like, see it and then pretend like it doesn't exist, you
Once
know?
the illusions of this game start crumbling, and you know, this life starts losing a lot of the flavor regarding, you know, what we thought it was. because we've been brainwashed. Humans have been brainwashed for years and years and years. And when you're in that brainwashing, you have a view of the world and a view of what life is. And then once you start learning the truth about what this life is, then it starts crumbling. And you start seeing this life very differently. And it can be depressing
Yeah.
until you learn how to utilize it and use it to your advantage. It
Well,
can,
it started out kind of fun. Like, I think the first things you started showing me was like Dolores Cannon when we lived in Stone Ridge.
yeah.
And then I like fell in love with Dolores Cannon, and I would sit and watch her seminars and stuff on YouTube. And then after that, it was like Donald Marshall. It went like whoop real quick, like sharp turn the other way. Went from love and light and we're all blah, 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 Dolores Cannon to everybody's a reptilian and a clone and you're all gonna die. Like, obviously not that bad, but like, you know what I mean? If you know who Donald Marshall is, then you know what I'm talking about. I tried showing my friend Donald Marshall and she was not ready, let me tell you. She's never looked at me the same ever again, so bless her heart. If you're not ready for Donald Marshall, don't look him up.
That's honestly, I remember that was the first thing that I ever discovered, really. I mean, I was playing around with energy and manifesting and stuff, but when it comes to the world of conspiracy, I knew nothing about it until Donald Marshall. And I was getting sucked into that rabbit hole. And you know what helped me? Case.
Oh.
Because I remember I stumbled across Case's channel, Everyday Masters, and he had that video where he said that everybody's so worried about, oh, they're poisoning the air, they're poisoning the water, they're poisoning the food, they're keeping our kids on drugs. So what? It didn't work because we're waking up all over the world. And he's talking about how you don't want to get stuck in that trap of doom and gloom. And if I hadn't heard him say that, I would have got stuck in that trap.
Yeah.
Of like doom and gloom, they're all out to get us, they're all against us, we're victims of this manipulation, and
But
you
that's
know.
a part of the awakening path is you have to like see the horrible shit and then you have to understand like, oh well, I mean, are you gonna let it eat you alive like mentally, or are you gonna, you know, come out the other end and just be like, you know what, like you can't, there's nothing you can like do at this point, and you're gonna still live your life and be happy. And we live by cases, like what would Case do?
Yeah. Case with Everyday. Should I tell them the story?
I don't know, they're probably getting tired of us talking.
Well, I'm gonna tell you one more story real quick before we get started. And this honestly was a humble reminder. In 2022, we went to go get an in-person session from Case at his house in Colorado. And when we first got there, she decided to knock back a few drinks, like way too many. And she had really calmed down on the drinking a lot, and she didn't realize how low her tolerance was, so she got shmammed.
We were up in Colorado, like high elevation, so that makes you obviously.
She got shmammered.
Where's the story going?
Anyway, we had a fun night. We were all over the town. We were walking around all over that town. Wake up the next morning, she's hungover. She realizes she lost her ID, and we only got a one-way ticket up there. We didn't get a round trip.
Yeah, we did. I always get round trip.
No, we didn't.
Yes,
That's why you were worried about
No,
your
because
ID.
you can't get on a plane without an ID in general.
I thought you said you had a one-way ticket.
No, what?
Okay, well, that's not the point. The point is she needed an
You
ID.
can't get on a plane, you can't fly without your ID. Obviously. That's what the problem is.
Okay, so she lost her ID, so we didn't know how we were going to get home. And I'm freaking the fuck out. And I know better than this because my whole path onto my manifestation journey, and in 2022, that was at like the peak of my manifestation journey thus far. And I'm backsliding. I'm tripping. I'm scared. And I show up to Case's house. I'm playing it cool, but inside I am freaking out. I'm like, dude, Leah lost her ID. We don't know how the hell we're going to get home, dude. Like, she lost her ID last night. And here's what he did. I swear to God. He goes, it's going to work out, man. That's exactly what he said.
That's so good.
It's exactly what he said. And inside, I'm fighting this battle on the inside. I'm like, I know better than this. He's right. I know better than this. But I can't help but freak the fuck out. So Okay, cool. And I did my little session and whatnot. Then we decide we're gonna go look for her ID.
We did the walk of shame. We had to trace all the steps back.
The first place we walked into was a gas station. As soon as she opened the door, the cashier goes, "Hey, you're the one that left your ID here last night."
Yeah.
And I immediately thought back to, it's gonna work out, man. Now, anytime I'm freaking out, anytime I'm worried because things are looking sketchy or I'm just in a nervous mood, immediately I always think to Case, just
Kicking
kick back
back.
in his chair like, it's gonna work out, man. And I tell myself that. It's gonna work
yeah.
out, man. And guess what? It always does.
Yes.
It always works out. So, yeah. Fun little story for you. If you haven't heard of Case, I would go follow Case Parks. His YouTube channel is Everyday Masters. He's one of my spiritual mentors. He's actually the one that inspired me to start this channel before I started reading tarot. He's an awesome dude.
All right. Well, thanks for listening to us blab. We will not make you guys wait any longer.
All right.
All right. Diana, who is an Aries. What are Dixon's true intentions with me? Dixon's a guy I've been dating for 2 months now.
Uh-oh, 2 months. 2 months, that's the magic time block. 2 months. If you don't know somebody's intentions after 2 months, you're never going to. Let's look at the soul contract. Ooh, all this stuff is coming out when I'm not even asking for it. It might not tell me the soul contract. Okay, man. Oh, there it is. Past life karma. Okay. So all that means is the two of you have unfinished business from a previous lifetime. All that means. It doesn't mean something bad's supposed to happen. It doesn't mean you're being punished. It doesn't mean you're being taught a lesson. A pet peeve of mine is when people use the word karma so ambiguously, you know. When I say karma, that means you all had a soul contract in a past life. Somehow it got screwed up. It didn't work out the way you planned. So you agreed to come back and try it again in this lifetime. So there is unfinished business on the table. So that is working for you. That there's a soul contract with unfinished business. So there still is work to be done between the two of you. However, so far, and right under the Aries card, looks like you might be dealing with somebody that's not quite mature enough for you. That's what it's kind of starting to look like. Looking like somebody who's probably keeping some secrets, you know, in it for a sexual connection. Anyway, let's see. Let's see the feelings, energies, and intentions. But again, take this with you on your journey. You don't know somebody's intentions after 2 months, you're never going to know. Not fully. Not fully. Even if the two of you keep this relationship going for another 2 years, there's still going to be a voice of doubt in the back of your mind, questioning everything he says and does. Three shuffle. 1, 2, and 3. There's the karmic wheel again. So I don't think this person has bad intentions. So that points to a deeper problem. Because if somebody has good intentions and you can't tell, that means one or two things. Either A, you're projecting, or B, the two of you are not a good enough vibrational match to be able to connect at a deep enough level. And I think that it would be the latter. I don't think that this individual really knows how to connect with anyone at that deep of a level. You know? I mean, 10 of Cups, he wants a relationship, wants to settle down, all that good stuff. You know? Has feelings for you. But immature as all get out. Doesn't know how to really connect at that level. So when you have someone with good intentions and you're not able to pick up on it, that points to a deeper problem. You all aren't very deeply connected. So not bad intentions, but a little bit emotionally immature. So I gotta grab my water bottle.
I was just thinking the same.
Do
But I'm gonna drink this.
you need your water?
No, I'm gonna drink this. Which I probably shouldn't. I'm still drinking my energy drink, you guys. I know. I've been trying to sleep kind of like during our breaks. For those of you who don't know, I mean, I've said it in every video, but I got 2 hours of sleep last night. But I'm just like not really tired enough to nap. I don't know. I just cannot nap. And I think having an energy drink at 8 p.m. is probably not the smartest either. Oh my gosh, I have something in my eyeball. But yeah, hopefully it's fine. But last night I had two like they're not melatonin because I don't fucks with melatonin, okay? I'm not trying to have those nightmares that make no sense, and yeah, I'm not down with that. So like Rich got me these other ones and they're not melatonin, but they just make you tired. I ate 2 of those last night. I ate 2 of them. Like one I had at 11:30 and then it didn't even do anything. And then it just got getting later and later and I was like, well, I don't want to eat another gummy because then it's getting too late. And then by the time I finally had the second one, when did I have that second gummy? At like 4 a.m.?
420.
4:20. Oh.
But she has melatonin-free gummies. So they
Yeah, that's
mainly
what I just said.
yeah, they have like GABA and what's the other one? Magnesium and GABA.
No.
So
They did not work. Okay, are we ready?
mm-hmm.
All right, Lady Luna 1111, who is a Virgo. How do I optimize the next season of my life to step fully into my journey? I'm ending cycles and I want to know if I'm on the right track. Thanks.
Well, you already are fully in your journey. What does that mean? You're fully in your journey. 100%. So you've already stepped fully into your journey. Let me see how it looks regarding the cycle change.
Oh, she said, I just want to make sure I'm making the right choices right now.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, 100%. When it gets to a point where a cycle is becoming so repetitive that you just do not see an ending in sight, it's never the wrong decision to walk away from that, ever. Never, ever. The most important thing to focus on is trying not to judge the situation. I know that's hard. That's really tough. But try your best to make whatever it is you're moving on from the default thought whenever you catch yourself thinking about it and how this was so unfair and I didn't deserve that and this didn't need to happen. Try to push that to the side and immediately think one of these days this is going to make sense. One of these days this is going to make sense. I'm picturing the day that I'm looking back on this and I'm laughing about it. I see the sense of humor the universe has because now it makes sense. Now I understand why it was meant to happen the way that it happened. So trying not to judge, that's really important. And I don't mean to sound corny and cheesy. I hate it when spiritual people say, oh, you shouldn't judge anything or anyone. We're judgmental beings. We are. We are. That's part of our creative ability is we see things and we cast judgments and we form opinions and beliefs, and that's what creates our life experiences. So it's not like you can't realistically say you never judge anything. People that say that are full of shit. Yes, we do. However, sometimes it's important to understand, and develop the wisdom to know when I should try to refrain from judging something. You know? Let me see what the next spread says. Yeah. Oh yeah. You're making the right choice. It's never the wrong choice to walk away from a repetitive cycle. Ever. That's never the wrong choice. Man, this is my new favorite deck. I love
it. Is that from Amazon?
Yep. And here's another one too. When reflecting on what you learned, it's really, really, really important. We already talked about this, judgment reverse, don't judge. What did I learn about me? That's what's important. Because anytime you ask someone what they learned, 9 times out of 10, what they're going to talk about is what they learned about other people, A relationship goes wrong, you ask someone, what did that teach you? They're going to talk all about what it taught them about that person, And that's good, but that's only maybe a 1/10 of the learning process. What did I learn about me? What did this teach me about me? If I was manipulated by somebody, why was it so easy for this person to manipulate me? Why did I allow them to manipulate me? What void am I trying to fill? What's broken in here that I'm trying to soothe? And you don't necessarily have to try to go this deep, but the more you start asking and answering those questions, eventually, ideally, it'll lead you to what broke this in here, And usually, I know with me, every time I do that, it strings all the way back to my childhood, And that's where, the leveling up process really starts to begin. Because now I'm noticing something about myself that I kind of knew all along, but I was ignoring. I didn't want to look at it, didn't want to pay attention to it. But now that I've admitted it to myself, now I really have no choice but to integrate the knowledge and wisdom that I've gained. And one of these days, it's going to make sense. And I know that may sound trivial, that may sound cheesy. I promise you, it will blow your mind if you can do those two things. Transformations will happen in your life. So if you're making the right choice, absolutely. Now it's time to level up. And those are two things that'll help you do that.
All right, next is Shadow, who is a Cancer. How does this close friend of mine truly feel about our connection? Do they also feel it's more than a friendship at times? Current person. Every time I tune into your weekly readings for the zodiac signs, even if sometimes it doesn't resonate, I always appreciate the advice you give and your worldview of things in life. It has helped me get through a lot of things in my life, seriously. Oh,
That's
appreciate that. That's sweet.
That's the important part. That's what my real job is. The advice. The advice and the knowledge. I had to make a deal with the universe. The universe told me, I'll give you all of your blessings and your manifestations, but you have to pass your knowledge on to others. And that's the deal.
That's the dealio, Emilio.
Yeah. All right, one more shuffle. Well, honestly, I'm kind of feeling like this person you're dealing with is trying to make you feel like that. Like, I think that to one degree or another, this person is kind of trying to manipulate the situation a little bit. Yeah. I mean, is this a female with a male friend dynamic? Is that what's going on here? You got to be real careful with that. I'm not going to get into a whole thing about that, but you have to be really careful about that. If that's not the dynamic, then never mind. But just for future reference, if you're a female with a male friend, 98% of the time, he's waiting to hit that. Yes, he is. The rumors are true. When dudes tell you all he wants is sex from you, he's not being jealous, he's not being insecure. Men know men. So, you know, just take that with you on your journey. I think this person is interested in a sexual connection. And I think this person's trying, like, the reason you feel that way is no accident. This person's very clandestinely trying to make you feel that way. So that, you know, you'll make the move without them, like, you know, just in case. Does that make sense? So, Seven of Cups. This person either plays that game with lots of other people or would if they had the chance and the opportunity. So I'd be careful with that. Let's see what kind of soul contract we have here. I probably should have looked at that first. Judgment reverse lovers card. So this is somebody that you have been life partners with in previous lifetimes. So you all have played very, very, very close, intimate roles with each other in previous lifetimes. And there may be some unfinished business in there with the judgment reversed. There very well may be. I don't know what that unfinished business is. And I mean, even if I did and I told you, that wouldn't really matter that much because, you know, it's a team effort. But careful, be careful. What I would do if I was you is I would do whatever you have to do to dig to really figure out for yourself what this person's intentions are. You know, that's what I would do. Because I don't think they're all that solid. Not really. So I think this person does have an interest. And the reason you feel that way is because they are trying to engineer the situation so that you feel that way. So be really careful. Really careful. Make sure that you approach the situation delicately. Okay?
I forgot to tell you, I asked Nevaeh last night, I was like, why were you up so late? And she's like, I couldn't sleep. She said she didn't go to bed till 6 either. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
I was like, why were you on the phone so late? Because she was on the phone at freaking like almost 4 a.m. because I went downstairs and I hear her in her room and I was like, the heck? Teenagers, bro. And then, so I asked her and she said that's why she got on the phone like really late because she couldn't sleep. So I wonder if she was like feeling whatever I was feeling too.
It's possible, but you know, also if you stay up till 6 a.m. and sleep all day, yeah, it's hard to sleep.
She doesn't sleep all day.
Oh, because we wake her up.
And she's allowed to sleep in on Saturdays. That's her day. All right, so we are actually gonna need to be cutting this off here soon because we are already like over 20 on here.
Okay. Oh, you can cut it off whenever you want. It's up to you.
I know, but this is already gonna be over 2 hours. I can just tell by the way we're like going now.
So you want to go ahead and cut it off now then?
I mean, we'll take like a couple more. So if you were wanting to get on our list for tonight. We're not doing another part after this, so it would be on this video for sure. This is the last call, y'all.
Last call, y'all.
Last call, y'all. Pony up. Pony on up. Here's the booking link. I'm gonna cut it off here very soon.
All right,
Okay.
let's get her done.
All right. KT7 Scorpio. Do I know the person I will end up marrying? Info/traits about them.
That's way too many questions. And that's a layered question too. Because there's a difference between do I know, am I going to end up marrying someone I know versus do I know my divine life partner? Huge difference between those two questions. Just because you end up marrying someone you know doesn't make that person your person, you know. So those are very, very separate categorical questions. I'll tell you what, your divine life partner is the last person on this planet you would ever expect. I can almost guarantee you that person is not even your type. If you end up attracting that person, it's going to blow your mind because that person is unlike anybody you've ever been with. You will more than likely end up saying, damn, this isn't even my type. Every time. So I imagine you have your eye on somebody. And I'm going to take a look and see the soul contract of the person you're thinking about. So the person that you're thinking about, you have had lifetimes with them where you have been life partners. And there very well may be some unfinished business with the World card and the Lovers card. So, whoever it is that you're thinking about, which I would imagine you have your eye on somebody. If not, I can make a slight tweak to what that means. But you've been life partners with this individual before. I think there's some unfinished business from that lifetime. Will you marry them, though? That remains to be seen.
So it's somebody they know?
Well,
Is that what you said?
yeah.
Oh.
So, will you marry them, though? That remains to be seen. That depends on if the two of you are able to come together and, you know, work through the energy that needs to be worked through. You know, because it'll be challenging. When there's unfinished business from a past life, that energy doesn't go anywhere. And when it bubbles up between the two of you, if the two of you can work through it and process through it and get to a point where you feel like having a wedding, then, you know, you could do that if you wanted. Let's see what the second spread says. Four of Swords. Same message. Okay. All right. So whoever this is you're thinking about, there is unfinished business from a previous lifetime. So, yeah, there's the potential. There's absolutely the potential there. Without knowing any details about who this is or what's going on between the two of you, I can't really say a whole lot more than that. But you see, here's the thing about a karmic contract. Karma means unfinished from a past life. So before we were born, we planned to come together and have a certain experience. And we came together, but we messed it up. We didn't get all the way through the contract. So we agreed to come back and try it again in this lifetime. It didn't work out in the last lifetime. Is it going to work out in this lifetime? Honestly, karmic contracts, one of the reasons why they get such a negative stigma and why they're so misunderstood is because they get harder and harder and harder each lifetime. Because you're carrying all that past vibrational baggage into it, you know. So there's potential for it. Divine life partner, though, no. Karmic life partner. So there's potential. Whoever this is that you're insinuating when you say that, you know, 9 times out of 10 when somebody says that, they have somebody on their mind. You know, like, do I know the person? Because if I'm not interested in any fucking body I know, that's not a question I'm going to ask.
That's because you're a guy. I would ask something like that.
The person you're thinking about, because I know you're thinking about somebody, there is
don't know
potential. Yeah, there is potential. So, yeah, you could take 2 different approaches. You can.
Well, she's saying, hold on. She said, "Oh no, I wish you would have went with my divine life partner. I feel like this didn't answer my question."
Okay, well, see, what's due to come in next. What I read, what I read is the order of the soul contracts as they're due to come in. Because when you plan your life, you plan it in order. Like, these are the soul contracts I'm going to have, you know, and it's in this order. Like, first I'm working on this one, then I'm working on this one, then I'm working on this one. And it's not limited to just romance. I mean, this is every person that's going to play a role in your life. And so right now there is a karmic contract with this individual, and that's what's up next. And either A, you all come together and work it out. B, you avoid it, bypass it, and work around it. C, you come together and try it again, and then it fails. You know, but you have to, whenever this soul contract, it's time for this, and the universe puts it in front of you, that's the one you have to focus on. And that's what I read when I read what's coming in next.
But she's not asking what's coming in next. She's saying, do I know the person that I'm going to end up marrying?
And that's what I said. Yes, there is potential to end up marrying this person.
Okay, so if it's somebody she knows, then there's potential.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes. But just because you marry somebody, that doesn't make them your divine life partner. That's the thing. So if I'm just looking at, are you going to marry this person? Yes, there's a lot of potential for that. But just who am I going to marry and who's my divine life partner is 2 completely different questions. I married my first wife. She wasn't my divine life partner, right? So, yeah, there's potential to answer that question directly, to marry the person that you know. There is a lot of potential
Who's
for that.
coming in next?
Yeah.
Okay. Just to specify, 'cause
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
getting really jumbled here. So,
Shit, I thought I
did
made it as
that
simple as I possibly
did that
could.
help? Did that answer your question? I mean, he can't see info and traits about them because he's also not a psychic.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, I hope that helped clarify it a little bit better. Hold on a second. Oh my gosh, I can't even freaking see. Okay, next we have Marshall, who's a Capricorn. After years of shadow games played by my cousin, will the scales balance out again, or balance out against all his deception? How do you say that name? Bonner? Is his name Bonner, or how do you say? I don't want to say the other name. How do you say that name?
Bonner, I guess.
Bonner?
Yeah. Well, it's very difficult for me to spy on the close personal details of somebody else's personal private life. So what's gonna happen to this person? I can't pry in too deep on that. But one way to make sure that the universal law of what goes around comes around happens fluently is to completely separate yourself from the whole equation. Because the universal law of what goes around comes around simply means the vibrations that you cast are returned back to you. Now, a lot of people get in the way of that. Like, if somebody fucks me over, they're casting a lot of negative energy, and they cast that energy out to the universe. And if nobody's there to catch that energy and empower that energy and interact with that energy, then it's gonna get sent out to the matrix, and the matrix is gonna hand it back to where it came from. There's no punishments, there are no judgments, there are no rewards. It's a default setting in this computer game. But if I keep myself in that situation and I'm feeding that energy, you know, then I'm taking on that vibration. And it's still going to make its way back to that person. It's just going to be much slower because now I'm the one taking it on. Now it's going to continue manifesting in my life, you know? So, yeah, a person like this, it's universal law. It's not something that happens sometimes to some people. The universe doesn't pick favorites. It's a universal law. The vibrations you cast are handed back to you. And again, why some people tend to get away with casting such negative vibrations for so long is because they have other people in there mingling with and taking on that energy and fighting that battle and you know, and whatnot. And that can postpone it. It's still coming back to them, but it'll postpone it. But yes, I mean, at some point in time or another, the energy always returns to sender. Always. Always. 100%. So, you smudged up my camera a minute ago.
I was eating cookies, so I had
Greasy cookie fingers.
Cookie fingers. Cookie fingers. Five of Pentacles. So yeah, the best thing to do is completely release yourself from the situation. Now, there's a lot of quantum physics that goes into this too. There's science behind everything I'm telling you. I'm not telling you my theories. I'm not telling you what I believe. This isn't my opinion. While you are in there focusing on it, you are collapsing the quantum field. And nothing can flow while you are collapsing the quantum field. So to completely remove and release yourself entirely from the situation. Don't look at them. Don't pay attention to what they got going on. Just completely remove yourself from the situation. It happens much quicker. Much quicker. Much quicker. But see, here's the thing. The question is, when that happens, are they going to realize what's happening? No. No. These are the people that you see posting on Facebook. Oh, karma's a bitch. Karma's gonna get you for what you did to me. Meanwhile, that shit that happened to them was karma getting them for shit they did. They just play the victim. They don't sit and think, damn, man, I'm suffering the repercussions of what I did. They don't think that. It's the last thing on their mind. So ultimately, it's kind of a letdown, you know, because they're not connecting the dots in their mind. They're just playing the victim. They didn't learn nothing from it. But the more you can remove and release yourself from the situation, the quicker it happens. All right.
All right, hold on. I'm gonna turn this off. Let me get the next one read.
Annie Banani.
Wow, that was almost like a 10-minute reading right there. Did you know that?
No, it wasn't.
Almost. Okay. Next is Annie, who's an Aquarius. Ex broke up with me 2 years ago. It was an 8-year relationship. He replaced me very quickly while I healed. I think about him sometimes. How does he feel about me?
I mean, he realizes that you've healed. He realizes that. I'm not allowed to spy on the details of somebody's life, but that replacement wasn't all that successful. Not really. And he realizes that you've healed, and I don't know how to put this into words, but it's like, I don't know how to explain it. I don't know if I want to go as far as to say he regrets it, because he doesn't regret it. It's one of those things where you look back on something in the past and you realize that you fucked up, that you did something stupid, but you don't regret it. It's like it is what it is type thing, if that makes sense. I'm not seeing anything here that indicates emotion, like at all. But I do think that he I could probably use the word embarrassment, a little bit embarrassed, you know, because it looks like you're doing better in life than he is. It looks like it from his perspective. Whether that's true or not, I don't know, but that's the way he perceives it. But I'm not really seeing energy that would indicate missing you or wanting to be with you, you know? If anything, he would probably like to see you fail, if anything. He'd probably like to see you not do good in your love life, because that makes him look dumb, you know? If you move on and you heal, and if everybody finds out that you moved on and did better and he didn't, then that exposes him for his own shit, you know? So, yeah, it's a fake person, very, very fake individual. And yeah, that's the best way I can describe that. Best way I can describe that. Hopes that you end up failing, because he's not having very much success in his love life, and he probably makes an effort to try to hide that, you know. So, yeah, that's the best way I can describe that. What?
Nothing. All right, next is Yolanda, who's a Cancer. What do I need to change to attract the right partner for me?
Oh man, that's a layered question. That is a layered question.
With that being said, we do have a live seminar on the course, How to Attract Your Life Partner. That's going to be on Sunday, August 9th at 5 p.m. Pacific time. If you want to join that, the link is in the comments. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, there's a lot that goes into that. Right now, there's still unprocessed past vibrational baggage. Don't mistake that for me telling you that you're still in love with a past person. I'm not saying that. Whether you are or you're not, that's not the only way to indicate that you still have past energy with you. But there is still unprocessed energy from the past. And let me give you a hint. And just take this and take some time thinking about this. Anything that you deeply desire, you're not vibrating at the frequency of having that. You're vibrating at the frequency of desiring that, which means you're on a lack vibration. If my frequency is resonating with the frequency of wanting something, that means that my frequency is resonating with not having it.
How is this moving? Are you kicking that?
No.
Lord.
Okay. Yeah. Same message. Same message. Unfinished, unprocessed, unresolved energy from the past. Unhealed energy from the past. And the void needs to be filled first. The analogy I like to give is your stomach. When you have a void in your stomach, all you think about is food. I don't know if you ever tried this or not, but try getting a full stomach and then going grocery shopping for the week. It's not fun. It's not fun. You don't want to think about food because the void is already full. So similarly, when there's a void in your heart, all you think about is relationships. But when the void is full, you're not thinking about what's going to come fill this void because you filled it. That's when you're a vibrational match to abundance because you're abundant from within. See what I'm saying? So, yeah, without knowing really any other details, I don't know when your last relationship was, how long that relationship was. That's the best I can give you for that. Unprocessed energy from the past and finding the abundance vibration. So,
The abundance.
the abundance vibration.
Okay, Vanessa, who's an Aries, a past guy that I met who's a Cancer. There's your Aries and Cancer.
Told you, every time.
Hold on. A past guy that I met who's a Cancer won't leave me alone. What are his intentions, and or is there something good I'm not seeing? Thanks.
Won't leave you alone, that means you've told him to leave you alone?
What?
And, no, let me ask. When you say that, do you mean
I'm just laughing.
you told him you wanted him to leave you alone and he won't do it? I don't
So
need
he's
it.
a manipulator.
He's a manipulator. A person with good intentions will respect your boundaries.
Or he's just blowing up her phone and wanting to talk to her all the time. It could have a double meaning.
Well, are you able to catch hints? If somebody's not talking to me, that indicates they don't want to talk to me. And if I'm trying to make you do what I want you to do, when you are clearly signaling that you don't want to, no, there's nothing good about that. No, there's not. Let me look at the status of the soul contract.
One thing that Rich hates the most is persistence.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
A persistent manipulator will turn his what?
Oh, that'll make me snap.
Yeah.
That'll make my blood boil so fucking hot I can't see straight. If you're a persistent manipulator and I tell you...
Wow, look, somebody gifted memberships.
Oh, cool.
Oh my god, I didn't know you
What's
could
that
do
mean?
that. Thank you. They bought memberships for people.
Oh, okay, cool. Right on. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Sandra. That's so awesome. Thank you.
Yeah,
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt the reading. I just never seen that.
So this was a successfully completed soul contract, meaning it served its purpose. So you're dealing with a persistent service to self, emotionally codependent manipulator.
That's what it said?
Yeah.
Wow.
Under absolutely no circumstances should anyone disrespect your boundaries. If she walked away from me tomorrow, like walked out the door, said, I don't want to be with you no more, that would rip my fucking heart out. But you know what? I'd let her walk out the door. I'd say, all right then, if that's what you want. Let me know if you change your mind. She told me what she wanted. I'm not going to chase her. I'm not going to beg. I'm not going to try to make her want to be with me. You can't make someone want to be with you. You can make somebody do what you want them to do, but that's not making somebody love you. So that turns into control. I'm trying to control you. I'm trying to get what I want out of you by making you do what I want, you know? And yeah, a lot of cardinal signs. Cancers and Capricorns are the two worst. You know, they won't take no for an answer. They just keep pushing and pressing and pushing and pressing and pushing and pressing. That boils my blood so fucking hot. Boils my blood, man.
Some of them do be like very annoying about it.
Sorry.
You're fine.
Yeah. Not having a lot of success in his love life. Yeah. Not having success in his love life. He's emotionally codependent. Just wants to be with some fucking body. Won't nobody give him the time of day. If they do, it don't last long. So he's trying to shove his way into your life because he can't meet nobody else. But if he had 10 people that would give him the time of day, he'd be bouncing around to all 10 of them. This is a successfully completed soul contract. There is no spiritual purpose behind the two of you being together. Now, nothing is more important than you understanding why you should stay away from that person. That's why I'm teaching you that a person with good intentions will not disrespect your boundaries. If he's disrespecting your boundaries, he don't fucking respect you. No, he don't. No, he doesn't. So, do what feels right, but don't get caught in a trap. Because that's the type of person, especially an Aries and Cancer dynamic. I've seen so many Aries and Cancer couples waste their lives. I've seen it too many times to count. All right.
Leilani, who's an Aries, which one will win my heart, Libra or Aquarius?
All I can do is look at the soul contract between the two. So if you're ever at a place in life where you're wondering if your person is this person or that person, it's neither of them. I don't know if you care or not. Some people care, some people don't. But neither of them are your person. Let's look at the soul contracts you have with the Libra. You know, Libra is your opposite, right? Just so you know. Very challenging energetic combination. So, I don't think there is a soul contract for this lifetime. Very near and dear member of your soul family. You have had soul contracts in previous lifetimes. This person is extremely emotionally codependent. So there's not a soul contract for this lifetime with that person. You know, you can take that and do with it what you will, but that would be an extremely challenging experience. Let's see the soul contract with the Aquarius. Ooh, okay. This is either a lesson or a test. One of the two. One of the two, either a lesson or a test. I can't tell you what decision you're going to make. That robs you of way too much power if I do that. So you're asking me which one you're going to pick. I can't tell you. Excuse me. There it is. It finally came up. I can't tell you what you are going to utilize your free will to choose. I can't tell you that. But with the Aquarius, this person is either a lesson or a test. I don't know which one. I can help you figure it out. A lesson is a completely brand new experience. There's nothing about this person There's nothing about this situation, this scenario, this environment that's anything like anything I've been through before. Everything about this is completely new to me. That's a lesson. First, you're given the lesson, and then you're tested on it. So if there's something in here, anything at all, it can be the littlest, pettiest shit in the world that you have experienced before, then it's probably a test. Probably. So which one you're going to choose, I don't know. That's kind of up to you. They're both going to have their challenges. They're both going to have their obstacles. Like I said, neither of them are your person. When you meet your person, you're not going to be confused about whether it's them or someone else. Yeah. I don't know which one you're going to choose, though.
Okay, hold on a second.
Not so
All right. Sorry. I was over here telling secrets.
bad.
I can't reach with my sleeve.
It's,
Hold on. Is that better?
yep.
All right. What are we on? All right. Nakia? That sounds more like it. It's a Cancer. It says, will Ken be back? Should I stop waiting?
How long have you been waiting if you're in the chat? It's not like, I don't like need to know that, but it helps. But, I mean, you shouldn't be waiting anyway. You should be healing. The primary law is the law of vibration. So when the two of you come back together, if either of you brings the same energy back to the connection that you walked away with, it'll loop around and repeat the same cycle. So healing is what you should be doing. Okay, damn, we're getting a lot of these, man. A whole lot of these. So it was either a lesson or a test. Right now, he has no plans of coming back. No plans right now. However, I think he has you in his back pocket for a rainy day. If he just so happens to, like whoever he left you for or whatever it is that he's doing right now, if that ends up falling through, then yeah, he'll probably end up making a return if something fails in his love life. He doesn't have any plans of that right now. But looking at his energy, this energy is not the energy that will attract anything of substance. That doesn't mean that he can't attract a long-term relationship, but this type of energy right here is the type of energy that attracts this. So the likelihood that something is going to fall through in his love life is very, very, very high. Very high. And if he has no other options, it's very likely that he could make a return. Like I said, though, if either of you, one, the other, or both of you, brings the same version of yourself back to the connection, all it takes is one. It will loop around and repeat the same cycle. That is an immutable universal law called the law of frequency equalization. That's not Rich Loft's little theory. So no, don't wait. Don't wait and put your life on hold. Work on healing. Make sure that the next time you and this person do talk, that this person doesn't even recognize who he's talking to. See what I'm saying? There's that. There it is again. So, okay. Well, the situation did serve its purpose, like I said. I think it was a lesson. I could be wrong on that. It could have been a test, but he has no plans of it right now. But the likelihood that his love life is going to be successful is astronomically low. Possible, but very low. So I don't know how long you all have been separated, but I'd give it about a 50 to 60% chance that you'll more than likely end up hearing from him before next August. In which case, like I said, be careful. Be sure that you bring a new version of yourself back to the connection if that's what he does. See, the catch-22, though, is that the more healing you do, the less interested you are in revisiting what hurt you. But if you did want to increase the chances of successful reconciliation, you would have to heal first. That's kind of a catch-22. But, yeah, give it about a 60% chance, because I don't think his love life is going to be very successful.
All right, Debbie, who is a Capricorn, is my wife having an emotional affair?
Very specifically emotional affair, huh? Let's see if this is somebody you can trust. What if I tell you no?
Then we throw a party.
What if I tell you no, she's not? What if I tell you you can trust her 100%? Then what?
Got no worry back here.
Think about that. It's just something to think about. If I tell you no, she's not, then that points to a deeper problem. That means the two of you, for one reason or another, are not very deeply energetically connected at all. At all. Just something to think about on your journey. Three of Swords. Okay. Well, she is a very, very, very broken, very confused, lost individual who has very likely never healed from anything that's ever happened to her. Now, I'm not allowed to spy on the details of someone's life, but when I have a client on a Zoom call, about 7-8 times out of 10, when I see this energy come out like this, usually what I end up finding out is the person had a really traumatic childhood. Most of the time. Not all the time, but about 8 times out of 10. Which means they haven't healed from anything that's happened to them since they were a child. So when you have somebody like that basically gets into codependency attachments and trauma bonds, then yes, eventually, with the Seven of Swords here, they drift off looking somewhere else. Because what they're looking for is they're looking for like that oxytocin and dopamine explosion. That once you've been around somebody for so long, that goes away. That goes away. That intoxicating feeling that you get from another person can only be felt when the person is new. Only. And it's a beautiful feeling. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm not saying that should be absent. It's a beautiful feeling. Enjoy it while it lasts, because it won't last. But the problem is, if you have somebody that's dependent on that feeling, and that's what they think love is, the chances are very, very, very high that eventually they're going to start looking for it somewhere else. Eventually, at some point. So with that Seven of Swords there, along with all that, probably. Let me see what this one says. Knight of Wands, yep. Kind of wish I knew how long y'all been together. I mean, that doesn't necessarily guarantee anything, but most of the time, that usually happens within the first 5 years. Okay, yeah, I think, depending on how long y'all have been together, she's, like I said, we already talked about all that. Very, very hurt, very conflicted. When I say that, I'm not saying she's a bad person. I'm saying there's a lot of energy that she hasn't processed for one reason or another. And you can only distract somebody from their problems for so long. You know, and once you've been around somebody for so long, not only do you stop distracting them from your problems, but if you haven't formed a deep enough connection, you can start adding to their problems because you just start triggering that stuff, you know? So I would say more than likely, whatever you're suspicious of, I would say more than likely with that Seven of Swords there. If she's not, it's just a matter of time. So, all right.
All right, so we have Anne next. I actually forgot to have this on the lineup, so sorry. Okay, so she got a question. Was that on? Oh, it was on part 2. Yeah, on part 2. This one where she was saying if she's a bad person for taking her daughters away.
Okay.
Okay, so she bought another one, and it says, "What are this person? How do you say that name? I don't know how to say that name."
Dario?
Hario? Is it pronounced like an H? I don't know. Okay. The Capricorn's feelings towards me currently. I feel like he's hiding something, like he possibly has cheated and got someone pregnant. I feel like the bad person in this situation, I feel like I never really trusted this person, but I want to be with this person because I came from a broken home and it just makes me feel terrible to take my kids away.
Okay, so that's a bunch of questions packed in
Just
there.
says, what are his feelings for her?
And what does that have to do with all this other stuff?
Just
Like,
talking,
okay.
anything about, so you know the situation.
So you're not wanting to clarify if he cheated. You're just putting that in there?
Well, because I think in the first one you were kind of like, oh, you shouldn't feel bad. Why do you feel bad for taking the kids away? So I think she's just clarifying
Okay.
on all that, what happened.
Oh no. If so, it does have its drawbacks for kids to grow up in a broken home, but it's much better for a child to grow up in a broken home than in a violent, toxic home. Definitely. I mean, I had to abandon my kids for 3 years, and that sucked. That was one of the hardest things I ever made myself do. But boy, the universe had some blessings. If I hadn't have done that, you wouldn't know who I am today if I hadn't have done that. It had to be done. That had to be part of it. And they went through some hell. My kids went through some fucking hell, but it had to happen. There was no other way for things to turn out as amazing as they are today. Okay, so what's this person's feelings towards you versus what are their intentions? Those are two different things, okay? I like to pack them together into one, but they are their own two separate categories. I think this person thinks that you're his person. Absolutely. But is a dishonest, deceitful manipulator that you can't trust. But thinks that you're, I don't know, I wouldn't say your person, but doesn't want you to go anywhere. Let's put it like that. Doesn't want you to go anywhere. He wants basically to have his cake and eat it too. You know, Like, I want it all. I want you as a life partner while I can go out and play around and do whatever I want, you know. Wants to have his cake and eat it too. So, like I said, feelings and intentions, even though I like to package them both together at the same time, they are two separate things. So he doesn't want you to go anywhere, you know, wants you to stick around and put up with his fucking toxicity, but his intentions are not. And when it gets so bad that you would even contemplate taking your kids out of the home, that's not a bad thing. Good people with good intentions don't worry about whether or not they're making the right decision. Only people with a pure heart worry about whether or not they're making the right or wrong decision. The bad person never considers that they're making the wrong decision.
That's true.
Nothing is ever their fault. Everything is always somebody else's fault. So yeah. Seven of Cups though. Doesn't want you to go anywhere. Doesn't want you to leave. Doesn't want you to walk away. But, you know, at the same time, doesn't have intentions of settling down, giving himself and 100% of himself all the way just to this one connection. So, very, very broken person who the likelihood that he cheated is very high. Very, very high. Not looking at all that, but just based on this energy right here, I would say that your intuition is more than likely either bang on the money or really fucking close. And, you know, when you're dealing with somebody that broken, it's all you can do is walk away from that. That's all you can do. That's all you can do. And again, I'll say it one more time. The bad person is never concerned about whether or not they're making the right or wrong decision. Just keep that in mind. Take that with you on your journey.
All right, next we have Little Wave, who is a Gemini. When or will I be able to overcome my tremendous workload at my new job to get my practice going? I know I asked before. Anything helps.
Well, how do I explain this? You're in one of those types of, there's a lot of momentum going. Like the timeline you're on right now has momentum. And it's much less likely if you wait. If you're still taking the actions you've been taking, you know, which the actions that you've taken is what led you to all the momentum that you have right now and all the stuff that's piled on top of you. It's much more likely that your timeline is going to continue unfolding the way it's unfolding, without taking some sort of subtle actions or even some heavy actions, whatever needs to be done in order to start grinding this cycle to a halt somehow, some way. Because there's quite a bit of momentum on your timeline, quite a bit. It's like a freight train barreling through the desert, fully loaded at 120 miles an hour. It's going to take some pretty considerable effort to get that going in a different direction. That does sound familiar. I'm trying to think back on that. It does sound familiar. Right now, though, it's not quite time. Now, again, I'm never the person that's going to tell you that you can't do this or you have to do that. I'm all about creating your own timeline. It may not be time yet, but you know, what I always do when I'm in a situation like that is I start taking action towards what I want to do. I start taking action towards it. And yeah, sometimes the universe says, no. Okay, well then I know. But I start taking actions towards it, you know, and the universe might put up a roadblock and not let it happen for one reason or another. That's fine. At least I casted energy in that direction, which gives that timeline more energy for when it is time.
She said, are you saying I'm heading towards getting the healing practice going, or are you saying I'm stuck at this draining job?
No.
She said
The timeline you're on right now has a lot of momentum. You're not stuck, because this isn't your forever job. Absolutely not. But the way things are rolling right now, like overcoming it and everything shifting overnight is more than likely not, it's not going to happen that way. It's not going to be like, you know, things just, you know, because that's not going to happen until the cycle is complete. The cycle's not complete yet. So if you're waiting for the outside world to change before you take action, that'll probably take a little bit longer.
She said she's taking action, but I can only seem to take small steps.
That's good.
She's doing what she can.
That's good. That's better than nothing.
Yeah.
That's good. That believe me, that does more than you think when you do that. It may not look like it. It may feel like it's just a complete and total waste of time. It's not. It is not. It's you're slowly inching it. It's like putting the brakes on a train. You know, it takes a train a long time to come to a stop. A long time.
Or even just get the train going.
Well, yeah.
If
But,
it has a lot of cargo on it too, it's like
yeah.
going up the hill.
Yeah.
Little putt.
You will absolutely be able to get that practice going. That's no question. Like 10 years from now, you will already have that going. 98% chance. But bringing all that to a halt right now and getting that started and getting it up and rolling in the short term, like here very, very soon, that's going to be really, really hard. You can do it though, if you really try. This is where I always feel so torn, because I don't ever want to tell you that something's impossible. I want you to try it. I want you to try manifesting it. And I want you to try taking actions towards it and taking steps in that direction. And just because it doesn't look like it's working doesn't mean the universe doesn't see you. It doesn't mean that you're not feeding energy to that timeline. You are. Absolutely. I would say keep doing what you're doing. Even if you can only take little steps, do that. Keep doing that. And trust that you're feeding energy to that timeline. Okay?
All right, Jade, are you in the chat? Because this question says, the best time to move on my passion path.
Yeah, that's
I don't know. We need more details.
That's not the right question, because it doesn't work that way. Because see, okay, we have two types of manifestations.
We're
A
gonna
type.
wait for them, but
I know the answer to this question.
okay. Well, I don't want to misread it, and then we have to read it.
I'm not
So
misreading. I
would
understand
rather-
exactly what she's asking.
Well, I don't have it timestamped, and I already emailed her.
Well, this is just for everybody. So while you're waiting on a response from that, there's two types of manifestations, A type and B type. A type manifestations are things that are like repeats of past experiences, something that you've done before. Or if you haven't done it before, it's not hard to find somebody who has, like manifesting a new car or a new job, you know, things that aren't out of the realm of what you're familiar with. And then there's B type manifestations. B type manifestations are big, huge, paradigm shifting, life changing manifestations. And with a B type manifestation, that demands a totally different version of you. Totally different. With an A type manifestation, you can take a pen and a paper and write down the steps that it takes to make a new car appear in your driveway. But to start living your passion, that, you know, and building a life that's unlike a life that you're living right now, the time is never going to be right. Not
Okay,
quite.
let's get going. I'm getting so tired.
Okay, well, I thought I was waiting on an answer.
No, I said we have to wait. I emailed her.
All right.
So I want to get through this list.
All right.
Because we still have like 45 minutes worth of readings to do.
Okay.
And my 2 hours of sleep is finally starting to catch up to me now. So obviously don't rush people's readings, but I don't really want to waste time just talking. All right, Moni, who is a Leo. Does she like me at all, or is she just wants to be with that man she meet? What? Did I read that right, or is the grammar messed up? Does she like me at all, or she just wants to be with that man she meet?
Well, I can't look at some other soul contract, but
We can see
I can see. Yeah.
if she likes them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I mean, honestly, I think she's a very secretive type of individual. I think she likes somebody from the past. Is what she's really doing. She's very broken from something that happened in the past, and she's trying to cover up her heartbreak. And 9 times out of 10, when people do that, they usually pick the worst person they could possibly pick. I'm not seeing anything here that indicates feelings for anyone, really. I'm seeing that she's looking for a codependency attachment. She doesn't realize that she is, but she's looking for a codependency attachment. And again, 9 times out of 10, when people are looking for a codependency attachment, they pick the worst option available, because that's usually the one that's the most emotionally stimulating. It comes with the most drama, with the most, it's more emotionally stimulating to get with a toxic person. It's a whole thing. So it looks like she's probably going to pass on this opportunity. Let's get the advice. Well, the only thing you can really do, honestly, is ask her what her feelings are. Because I don't really think she likes anyone, really. It's a codependency attachment. She's not at a place, really, to actually be with anyone right now. So she's looking for a codependency attachment. And yeah, she's probably looking for somebody that creates a more intense emotional explosion. Because I'm not really seeing a really, really deep connection between the two of you. If I was you, I would set a time frame and do the best you can to try to, hear it from her. Because, yeah, I don't think she's emotionally connected to anyone right now.
Okay, next is Raz, who is a Scorpio. What will happen to me and my recent ex 1 to 5 years from now?
1 to 5 years. Let me look at the status of the soul contract.
That's like a big, gap of time.
Yeah, that's huge.
1 to 5 years.
Yeah.
So much could happen in 5 years.
And 10 of Cups reversed. So that was a successfully completed soul contract. You all straightened up some loose ends from a previous lifetime, and you did that successfully. So you didn't part ways prematurely. You parted ways because it was time to part ways. So let's look at the energy. Right now, if you're following your path, if you're following the path that the universe has you on, it's going to be a bit of a solo journey, because your life path now is supposed to be taking you to a new level. Oops, this one. Supposed to be taking you to a new level with the Hermit there. So there's no spiritual reason for the two of you to reconnect, but their reconciliation could be attempted, especially if this person finds no success in their love life. It's tough to say right now because it's so fresh. Because right now, neither of you have really moved on from this, so the energy is really, really strong right now. But yeah, it's possible. I'd give it right now, the way the energy looks, probably about a 50 to 60% chance that reconciliation will be attempted. And because the soul contract is complete, it will repeat the cycle if you do that. So, you're on a path right now to level up. That's the path the universe has you on. You don't have to follow it. Most people don't, honestly. But that's your path right now. It's a level up phase. It's really fresh right now. If the energy stays the way it is right now and neither of you release this energy, I'd give it about a 60% chance that within the next year, a reconciliation attempt will be made.
What about in 5 years?
I can't look at that. It's too fresh for that. It's way too fresh for that.
Oops. All right, Maria, who is a Libra, she has 2 questions. So the first one is, what is Myron, who is a Cancer's intentions towards our connection? We are friends. That our connection changed recently, 3 weeks ago, to a more exclusive now. And then the next question is, what are his feelings towards her? So, intentions and feelings. So that's 4 spreads.
He doesn't want to be alone. Yeah. Doesn't want to be alone and wants a sexual connection. There we go. So, intentions wise, I don't think there's bad intentions. I don't really think he knows any better. Most people don't. They don't know better. That he's choosing you because you have allowed it, basically. He just doesn't want to be alone, and he wants a sexual partner. Let's see what the second spread says. Yeah, 2 of Wands. Yeah. So okay. Yeah. So I don't think he has bad intentions. I don't think he knows any better. He doesn't want to be alone and he wants a sexual partner. Those are his intentions. So I wouldn't say bad intentions. But it's really, really, really important that you start figuring out what his intentions are. Really important. And when I say figure out, I mean figure it out from him, Sexual connection is the main driving force behind this connection. Lovers reversed. But I don't think, and most men don't know any better. Most men don't. They don't know the difference between sexual attraction and love. Most men don't. So I don't think he knows any better. So he's not trying to play games with you. I'm not going to say that. But so it's basically a codependency attachment where I don't want to be alone. I want to be with somebody. I need a sexual partner. But he intends to try to find somebody to settle down with. But when you're approaching a connection from a perspective of, I just don't want to be alone, what that means is I'll take whatever I can get.
So he doesn't like her, or what?
No, he does. Like, did you not understand anything I just said?
I don't know.
He doesn't want to be alone.
Well, because the question is, what is his feelings towards
I know.
her?
I know. And
That's just kind of
the devil card came out first thing, which is sexual connection. He doesn't know the difference between love and sexual attraction.
Oh, so in his head, he's in love.
In his head, he's in love, yes.
But it also in the other head, too.
Yeah, mainly in that head. Yeah. And so he doesn't have bad intentions in his mind. I think he probably thinks that he's in love, maybe. Yeah, in his mind, I think he thinks he's in love. You know, the question is, will the two of you be able to form that connection so that when all that stuff wears off, there's actually a love connection there? You know, because I hammer on this a lot, that feeling is going to go away, that new person feeling. And when it wears off, that's when whether or not we've formed a love connection is actually going to expose itself. So, not bad intentions. Wants a sexual partner, wants to settle down, doesn't want to be alone, but doesn't really know the difference between love and the sexual attraction, not really. But isn't aware of that. So he doesn't have bad intentions. Make sure you are formulating a genuine friendship and an actual connection at the deepest level so that when that stuff wears off, hopefully you all can carry this on and turn it into something successful.
Okay, Jade is here now, so
Okay.
what do you want me to say for that
I
one?
didn't want to, I told you it was fine with me.
Well, I want to know,
So
we
a
need
little bit more details.
yeah.
When you say your passion path, what does that mean?
Yes, thank you. What are you reading for now? Who are you reading for?
I'm waiting on that.
Oh,
I thought, isn't that what you said?
I haven't even stamped. I don't know if she's
No.
caught up on the live or if she's like. Oh, okay, here we go. Okay, hold on. Let me timestamp you really quick. Alright, hold on. Nice. Alright, so Jade is a Scorpio. It says the best time to move on my passion path. And then she says, I awakened a few years ago, banana crazy journey. Okay, so what is your question?
What's your passion path mean? What is that? What's that mean? She's the one that wants to know, not me.
Well, I just want to make sure we're reading the right thing because I'm not trying to do redos. I'm too dang tired to do redos tonight. I am going straight to bed. I'm getting cranky. Thanks. I'm still cranky though. Oh no, don't be sorry. Okay, so it says help people to love themselves and create a higher vibration.
Okay, so do you know how to do that? The best time, first of all, if you have a mission, everything in your life is preparing you for that mission. And you won't be put in the position to carry out that mission until you learn how to do it. So, do you know how to help people do that? Do you know exactly how to do that? That's the question. Because that's when you act on it. You know, if you have a mission like that and you're wanting to help people.
She said yes.
Okay, well then, anytime. There is no right, wrong time. Whenever you know how to do it, then that's when you move on it. And, you know, as long as you have a valuable message and you have valuable knowledge that people need, then the universe will bring you all the people that need your help.
She said, I have mission.
Okay, well, then when you're on mission and you're ready for that mission, anytime is the right time. As long as you have valuable knowledge that people need, then the universe will bring you all the people that need your help. But if you don't, and I'm not saying you don't, I'm not saying that, but there are people out there who do. They want to go carry on this mission because they think being a light worker is cool, and they don't know what the hell they're doing, and they try it and they go absolutely nowhere because the universe is not going to bring people to somebody that doesn't know what the hell they're talking about, you know? So as long as you have learned what you need to learn, and you know how to help people, and you know you have a valuable message that people need to hear, then the universe will bring you all the people that need to hear what you have to say. There is no right time. The right time is when you are ready and when you know how to help people.
She said, unlike you, I kind of just read people and I listen to my higher power. I'm just wondering, is this the time to pop it off now?
If you're 100% confident that you have learned everything that you needed to learn, there is no right time. It's whenever you want. Whenever you want. So, yeah, right now, it depends on, there is no right time. There isn't a good time, bad time. It's, right now is the best time always, you know? And you get on that path and you see if the door opens and the ball starts rolling, you're good. But if you get on that path and start trying to pop it off and it doesn't go anywhere, then we take a step back and we ask ourselves, okay, what is it that needs to be corrected here? But yeah, the right time is always now, always, always, you know, so.
I'm seeing that this is something that you've been thinking about, like dreaming about for a long time, but you haven't really put any work maybe towards it. And that the stars are aligning for you and that you should definitely do it and take the leap of faith.
Yeah, Fool card.
That's what the cards are saying.
So yeah, making a leap, there's never a wrong time to make a leap. But what we have to do is we have to develop a relationship with the universe. So I'm gonna make the leap and then I'm gonna pay attention to how the universe responds. If the universe responds positively, then good. But if the universe responds negatively, then I have to take a step back and see what needs to be tweaked. That's one of those things that you're never gonna be 100% prepared for it. And once you get on that path is gonna change you. Believe it or not, you're gonna learn more by getting on that path than you have thus far. And getting on that path and learning and tweaking, you're gonna learn lessons that are gonna change you into a completely different person. So the time's never gonna, you know, the door's never gonna open and say, okay, now it's the right time. It's not quite like that. Unless the universe has you here on mission. If the universe has you on mission, it's gonna put its boot to your ass and make you do it. But, you know, you're good to do it anytime. So I would say go ahead and go for it.
All right, next is MR, who is a Leo. Is my divine partner heading towards me this year?
You know, I have to look at your energy. I have to see what's due to come in next. A divine life partner is not something that can be timed out, really. A divine life partner has to be attracted vibrationally. Let me just see what's due to come in next. Okay, yeah. So there are no miscellaneous soul contracts due to come in, so that's good. Nothing left but a divine life partner. Now let me look at your energy. Okay, so you'll be tested. You will absolutely be tested. You may have been tested too over the past year or so. I don't know, but you absolutely will be tested. The process of attracting your divine life partner can be a frustrating process. That's why I have an interactive course you can sign up for that I'm going to be teaching that. So I can't say when, but I can say that all of your temporary soul contracts are behind you. So you don't have any other karmic contracts that are coming in, nothing like that. But you will be tested, absolutely, 100%. And if you've learned all the lessons that you needed to learn, and you're aligned with the abundance vibration, then by the time the end of 2027 gets here, you very well could have already been with that person for a while. So it's possible. It is possible. There's nothing temporary. The only way you're going to be involved in a temporary soul contract is if the universe tests you and you fail that test, and you have to repeat a past cycle. But if all goes well, yeah, at the earliest this year, could be next year. But yeah, you're on the path towards that.
That was 2 spreads?
Yep.
Are you sure?
Yep.
That was very fast. I guess the message came through quick.
All I had to do for the first spread was look to see what's due to come in next, and I did that.
So you only pulled 1 spread?
No, I pulled 2 spreads.
Alright, next is Erica, who's a Virgo. What are Milton's current energies / feelings towards me? We've been fooling around a bit, but no relationship. He's a Pisces. So I don't think he really, there's past energy involved here that he hasn't released and let go of. I don't know when his last relationship was. So right now he doesn't really know what he wants. Definitely wants a sexual partner. I mean, if you've been fooling around and he hasn't made it known that he wants to be with you, I don't think he's looking for a relationship. I think the main thing he's looking for right now is, self-validation, from sexual partners. That's one trap that men fall into very, very, very easily. They get their heart broke, and nothing makes a man feel better about himself than the ability to attract a sexual partner. And that's because of the societal beliefs that we were born into and brought up in, but there's past vibrational baggage that he's carrying. Right now, he's trying to validate himself. Let's see what the second spread says. King of Pentacles. Past energy again. So, I don't think he's trying to get too close to anyone emotionally. He's trying to validate himself, make himself feel better about himself, prove himself to an ex, a past person. You know how it is when you get your heart broken. You go out there looking for validation from other people. That's a big, big, big part of it. But a life partnership, no, that's not what he's looking for right now. Not what he's looking for. If that's what he was looking for, you would know that by now. Absolutely. So I don't think right now he's trying to settle down with anyone. Not really. He has a karmic tie with someone from the past. So looking for a sexual partner right now. Sexual partner with no strings attached, no emotions, especially if he's a young man. I don't know how old he is, but every man in his 20s, that's every man in his 20s' wildest dream, is just to have as many fuck dolls as possible to just bounce around to, Dolls?
Little fuck dolls, yeah. Like little objects for nothing but sexual pleasure, yeah.
That is loud. Wow.
So, what I would recommend, don't let it string on too long if you're confused about his feelings. I'm not saying just walk away from this. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that I would set a time frame, like a month, 2 months, whatever you want to set, And through that time frame, you make it your life's work to figure out what his intentions are. And when I say figure it out, that doesn't mean ask me, okay? Because asking me isn't figuring it out. You need to figure it out from him. And once that time frame is up, if you're still confused about his feelings and intentions, it wouldn't be wise to keep it going.
Wow. All right, next we have Kat, who is a Leo. Will Gerald give me another opportunity in the next few weeks?
Few weeks.
Gerald.
I don't feel the need to look at the soul contract on that for some reason. Not really. I mean, there's definitely, I think, somebody else involved here. Somebody else involved. There's 2 3s here. So, I mean, right now, I don't think he has any plans of it right now. I think his plan is to move forward with whatever it is he's doing or whoever he's messing with or whatever he's got going on. That's his plan right now. But like I've said, whenever you have somebody that's moving like that, the likelihood that they're going to find success in their love life is very slim. Very, very slim. The likelihood is astronomically high that something is going to fall through and come crashing down. And in which case, most of the time, that's when men come back. But right now, in the current moment, that's not his plan. His plan is to move forward with whatever it is he's got going on right now, but that's more than likely not going to go anywhere. So, you're on board with the fact that this is not your person, right? You're good with that? I don't know if you care or not. Some people don't care. Some people don't give a shit, but not your person. Tower card again. So it's very, very tough to say because right now his plan is to move forward with, there's somebody else he has in mind. I can't spy on the details of his life. It's just not very likely that this person is going to be able to build a solid foundation. So whenever a past person's love life falls through, that's when the chances greatly increase that they're going to come back. Right? First thing they're going to do is reach and grab and scramble and scrape to try to find somebody new. And the more he starts coming to the conclusion that that might not happen, then that's when he starts thinking about people from his past. Well, which person from my past is more likely to give me another chance? You know? So it's possible. It's possible. It's possible. Right now, I would give it probably a lesser chance with the way the energy looks right now, just because of his intentions, which is, like I said, to move on and move forward. But I'm just saying this based on, it's like if you take your car to a mechanic and it hasn't had an oil change in 50,000 miles, the likelihood that it's going to fucking break down is very, very high. So it's possible. Be careful. And, you know, if you end up reconnecting with this person and the cycle repeats itself, don't do it again.
I messed up on this timestamp. I think that might be it, but I don't know. All right, Marilyn.
Marilyn.
You are a trooper. You made it to the very end. All right, Marilyn is a Cancer. Future outlook on me and my ex. Background, we dated for close to a year. We both did wrong things, but I still feel the connection.
That's because it hasn't been transmuted yet. It's good. You should still feel the connection. One of the biggest mistakes people make is they think that, you know, when me and my ex part ways, I forgot about it. I'm not thinking about it. I don't feel it no more. That means it's gone. No, it don't. No, it don't. I'll give you a hint. I'm not going to get into a whole thing about this. But if you can't look back on something and laugh about it, you're not healed from it. No, you're not. if you can't give me a detailed description as exactly why that was meant to happen the way that it happened, and show me the reason why it was meant to happen, you're not healed from it. So there was uncleared karma here, and it's still not cleared. Matter of fact, I think there's probably more karma piled on top of what the two of you came together to try to straighten out in the first place. So there's an extremely, extremely heavy karmic tie. That's why you still feel the connection, which is a good thing. That is, because, I mean, healing wise, I mean, working it out wise is going to be incredibly, astronomically challenging. But healing wise, it's a good thing that you still feel that, because the more intensely you feel it, the easier it is to heal it and process it. Only dated for about a year. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, this is somebody you can't really trust. Yeah, this isn't really somebody that's bringing anything good to your life, honestly. There's unfinished business here. Two of Cups reversed. Right now, this person isn't planning on reconnecting. Not planning on it. It's very, very possible that he could make his way back around, though, if this energy stays the same. The universe could bring the two of you back together. Like I said, I'm not going to tell you what and what not to do, but this is somebody that he will more than likely do wrong again, about a 99% chance, because he's not shifting out of his energy. I'd give it about a 60% chance, 60, 70% chance reconciliation will be attempted within the next 1 year period. You know, depending on if this energy stays the way it is. And if so, be very careful. You're going to feel the connection because there's so much karma between the two of you. Unresolved, unfinished business from previous lifetimes and this lifetime. So, yeah, if I was you, I would work on doing as much healing as possible so that if the two of you do come back together, you know, that increases the chances of being able to reconcile successfully. But he would have to rise up to meet you is the thing. And I don't know if he's at a vibrational place to be able to do that. So, yeah. Just be careful if you do end up hearing from this person. I'd give it about a 60, 70% chance with the way the energy looks right now, because the energetic tie is so heavy. You see what I'm saying? So.
All right, I want to show everybody my beautiful painting. Whoever's left in the chat at this point.
Oh.
What do you guys think of my beautiful art?
You did that?
Yes. What? You don't think I'm talented enough for this?
I mean, the only person I saw downstairs painting was Nevaeh. So.
This was when we lived in California.
Oh, okay.
Isn't it pretty?
Yeah, it's badass.
I like it a lot. And I was using like the napkin. There was like little seashells on the napkin. I was trying to get like creative.
Cool.
This is like the most abstract thing I've ever done in my life, because I'm usually so OCD and like things have to be so perfect, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Anyways, cool. I just wanted to share that.
All right, y'all. It was fun.
It was fun. I'm about to go to bed.
Hopefully,
BED.
Hopefully I gave y'all some helpful knowledge and wisdom that at the very least can bloom later on down the line. I'm sure some of you are mad at me tonight. That's okay. That's okay. That's the unfortunate part of the job, is people do get mad at me, but you know, hopefully I planted the seeds in fertile soil.
We all love you and we appreciate your words of wisdom.
Yeah. My intention is not to talk down to anyone or make anyone feel stupid. That's not my intention. I've been working on that for years. I'm an Aquarius. That is one of the Aquarius weaknesses and challenges, is we tend to be know-it-alls. We can tend to come across very condescending and talk down to people. And I've been working on overcoming that, because that's not my mission. That's not my spiritual calling. My calling is to help you. So I have no intentions of making anybody feel stupid or anything like that. I just want to help you. So hopefully I did that, and I hope it's successful. So, all right, I don't know when we're gonna do this again next. We probably got room for maybe one more this year, you think?
Oh, I mean, I'm not saying like yes or no, or like we just do them randomly. I'm not gonna say that we
Yeah, cool.
have like I don't know. I can't even talk, but
Yeah, all right. Well, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. Thanks again for tuning in and playing along, and I'll see y'all tomorrow on my main channel.
all right, bye.
All right,
Good
later.
night.